People. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. But let's get right to it. Alright, so I've been noticing it's a lot of videos circulating online. A lot of people are struggling, going broke. A lot of people got 2 or 3 jobs, but still can barely pay their bills. And a lot of people go online and voice their frustrations about the recession that's coming, about inflation, about living paycheck to paycheck. But one thing I do want to warn you about: do not let the devil work on your soul. What I mean by that is, some of this content online with people struggling, you see everybody struggling. If you get too deep into it, watching too much of this stuff will actually make you want to give up. A lot of this stuff online, it literally makes you want to give up, because you see other people struggling like you, and it's like, how is that motivating people to actually do more and get out of their bad financial situations? It makes it hard for people want to be motivated to make more money if you know it's just going to get taken away from you. It feels like soon as you make more money or get this second job or make this money doing this side hustle, all of a sudden something happened, boom, car breakdown. Prices rise on everything. Food start costing more. Gas prices go up. Rent go up. And it's like they know when people are starting to make more money, so they just raise prices on everything just to keep you broke. But don't let all of this struggle content online make you give up. Because if you give up, that means the devil has won. The devil has won if you give up. But a lot of people, they don't really tell you how to get out of a bad situation. They just tell you how they're struggling and they don't know what to do. But eventually, you gotta learn, you gotta figure out what to do to get out of that situation. Because I'm pretty sure none of us want to die broke. We're finna live our next 40, 50, 60 years if we was broke the whole time and just complaining about bills for the next 60 years. That's stressful. That's like living in hell. Like, some people would rather be dead than sit here and be miserable for the next 60 years. Like, what's the point of life if you're not going to enjoy it? But with that being said, first thing, the only way to fix your financial situation if you're struggling, you got to think about your biggest bill that you have. Start out with the biggest bill. Like, what's taking your money every month? When you make this extra money, get a side hustle, now all of a sudden that money's literally gone 2 days from there. The money's already spent before you even make it. Think about your biggest bill. Always start with that, because that's probably the bill that's keeping you broke. And most of the people's biggest bill is probably a mortgage or rent. So if you just bought a house in the past 2 years, your mortgage is definitely your biggest life payment. I can tell you that. And you just giving away money because of the high interest rates. And you overpaid for a house that doubled in value over the last 3 years. But you paid double that price. So you're pretty much upside down on your mortgage. And you're losing money to high interest rates, because all that extra money you're paying on the mortgage, that's the bank. The bank is making that money. That's easy money for them. And you pretty much that's why it takes 30 years to pay off a house, because of the interest. But if you just bought a house, let's say you're a couple or you're single and just bought a house at the high interest rates and you feel like you're struggling, you have to make a decision that's uncomfortable. Everybody want to be comfortable. They don't want to do anything outside of their comfort zone. Like, if you're struggling with this house and you just can't sell it because you know you just bought it, you might, if you don't have kids, you might have to suck it up and rent some rooms out. You might have to have a family member come and stay with you and help with some of the bills or pay some of the mortgage, or even rent. Go out and rent. If you're single with no kids, you definitely should be having roommates. You definitely should. Like, you have to figure it out. And remember, all this stuff is just temporary. So you don't have to have a roommate forever. Like, it sucks. A lot of people don't want to live with other people. Like, it sucks. Like, some people are just dirty. Some people, you just don't want people in your personal space. You don't feel like having to talk to anybody. Like, I get it. But sometimes you just have to make sacrifices in life. You have to make the sacrifices to get over the hump. There's no comfortable way to live comfortable. You have to do things that make you uncomfortable first to live comfortably. I never seen a rich person say they was comfortable the whole time they was getting rich. These millionaires, they didn't start out comfortable. Some of them made a lot of smart decisions, and most of them did risky things to make their money. Some millionaires failed 8, 10, 12, 20 times before they finally made it. They failed at a lot of stuff, doing a lot of risky stuff. But the reason they still became a millionaire, because they didn't quit. They didn't make excuses of, hey, I see a lot of people failing, so I'm just not gonna do nothing because I'm not trying to lose no money. It ain't gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work, so I'm just sit here and just not do anything. You gotta fail to get to a certain point in life. You gotta jump out there. You gotta jump. You gotta take that leap. But if you never make the jump, you'll never get to where you're trying to go. If you're comfortable with just not having money, you're just sitting on the porch watching people drive by, drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette on the front porch, and that's all you want to do for the rest of your life, so be it. It's easy to do that. That's an easy life right there. But if you're trying to build wealth, build an empire for your family, have rental properties, start a business, invest smartly, none of this stuff is easy. You have to get out of your comfort zone if you want to make it. And with that being said, let's get out here and figure out what we want to do. Yes, you got to take the risk. Yes, you got to make the sacrifices. Yes, you got to get out of your comfort zone, which most people don't want to do. So let's get out here and do great things, and I'm out.